For us to be good leaders, we have to be good followers. And for us to be good communicators, we have to be good listeners. Welcome to your favorite channel, What the Bible Says with Ngozi Atiti. My name is Ngozi Atiti, and we're still continuing this series on the qualities of a good leader. So today we're going to talk on communication. A good communicator is a good leader. And before we jump into today's discussion, because it's really going to be juicy, yes, I'm going to use a life scenario that just happened recently to buttress the point on how important communication is and how important a good communicator can be a good leader. Okay, if you're just coming across this channel for the first time, kindly hit the subscribe button, and that way anytime I upload a video you receive a notification. Okay, leave your comments and give us a like and share this video, okay, and that way you will support the growth of this channel. So quickly, there was something that happened recently, and you all know that most of us in different parts of the world are advised to keep the social distancing, and scientists kind of dug into the lifestyle and the character of how the virus is spreading, and we were all advised to keep that social distancing. So according to the news, it was said that two pastors in Nigeria did not comply to this instruction. So this is according to the news, it was said that it is Pastor Oyedepo of the Winners Chapel Church nationwide, and this other pastor, Pastor Enenche. These are very, renowned and influential pastors that have very good followers. I mean, very large number of followers. So I got a little bit inquisitive about it. So I dug deeper. I was able to discover that the problem was lack of communication. And because they are frontline pastors, they got into trouble because of this communication problem. Okay, so I would like to read directly from the internet. According to Punch News, the way it reported it that caused this problem, because I was like, for you to be a good leader, then you should be a good follower. Whatever you want your followers to do to you, you also do to those that are leaders over you. So I really got interested and got very curious, and that made me to start researching, and I was able to discover that the problem that led to this was communication problem. And that's why we're going to talk about communication as one of the good qualities of a good leader. So it was said that, according to the news, that the Living Faith Church Worldwide and Dunamis Church International, that they held full service on Sunday despite the instruction from the federal government to keep the social distancing and limit their gathering to not more than 50 people in order to curb the transmission of the coronavirus. So they said, according to the statistics, that these pastors, according to the statistics from Nigeria Center of Disease Control, as of Sunday, there are 27 cases of the virus in Nigeria, with 4 in Abuja, 19 in Lagos, 2 in Ogun, and 1 in Ekiti and Oyo states, according to Punch News. So it says that the Punch News reports that the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Deeper Christian Light Ministry, Daystar Christian Centers, and some other big ministries, they complied with the not more than 50 congregants per time rule of the FCT administration and various state governments across the country, with many of these churches conducting online service. Kudos. Good job to those general overseers and pastors. Thank you for being selfless, and thank you for listening to the instruction of the land. That is a very good example of a good leader. When you listen, then your followers will also listen to you. And not just listen, you listen with understanding that this is not time to be sentimental. However, the presiding bishop of the Living Faith Church Worldwide, whose headquarters is in is located in Otaogun State. David Oyedepo held a physical service on Sunday. One of our correspondents who monitored the service via the church YouTube channel observed that thousands of worshippers gathered in the church auditorium. Not this time. Not this time. Not this time. Not good at all. I'm still curious to know why they did not comply. Oyedepo led the congregation in prayers preceding his sermon titled Winning the War Against Coronavirus. He said, according to how we have prayed, the siege is over. The same way Ebola went away, this is going away. The same God that helped us that time is still alive. He will help us again. The church had in memo dated March 20th and written by the first vice president of the Living Faith Church, Bishop David Abioye, asked branches of the church all over the world to comply with restriction orders in their locations. Good job. However, our correspondent gathered that another memo was issued late on Sunday asking members to come to church service. Why? Why the confusion? The first memo read, in view of the spread of COVID-19 pandemic across the globe, which has necessitated the temporary shutdown of activities within nations of the world to curb its further spread, all stations are hereby informed that the Mother's Day celebration earlier scheduled for Sunday, 22nd March, is hereby postponed indefinitely. Okay. But a second memo, which was also signed by Bishop Abioye, read, following recent release from the office of the C.A.N National President as per attached. C.A.N means Christian Association of Nigeria. Our regular Sunday service shall hold tomorrow, Sunday, across various states of the nation. So I'm going to stop here. So obviously there was contradictory, messages coming at different time on the same day. So the church had already, listened and were all also ready to comply to the instruction issued by the federal government of Nigeria. But a contradictory instruction came from the office of the Christian Association of Nigeria. You see, communication problem. And because they were frontline pastors, they got into trouble. Okay, and again, according to this information from Punch, that was the same thing that made the Dunamis Church also to hold service, thereby gathering thousands of people, risking their lives to this pandemic. But at this time that this demon called coronavirus is putting a huge threat to humanity, we need to do something really, really fast. And one of them is social distancing and not coming very close to each other to avoid the spread. The instruction that came from the office of the C.A.N contradicted and confused this men of God, and this now brings us to the quality of a good leader. I don't know why the office of the C.A.N had to create that confusion. I don't know why that happened. So I want to believe, and in my own opinion, this problem came from the office of the Christian Association of Nigeria by bringing this confusion to these pastors, and they listened to them. So the office of Christian Association of Nigeria, you owe Nigerians that explanation, because if you are unable to communicate your message effectively to your team, you can never be a good leader. Okay, a good communicator, like I said before, will always be a good leader. So let us, my brothers and sisters, let us really be very, very careful this period. We all know the instructions, let us follow the instructions by the health professionals and by our leaders in the country. Let's go to what the Bible says. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, which is the golden rule, the Bible says, so whatever you wish that others will do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. So concerning following instructions and obeying those who are leaders over us, for us to be good leaders, we have to be good followers. And for us to be good communicators, we have to be good listeners. So please, my brothers and sisters, my fellow Christians, everyone around the world, this is a global fight. Let us all do what we can from our little spaces to make sure we drive this enemy out of the face of this earth that we all are living in. We all have our own individual responsibilities. This is the time we have to keep sentiments apart and do what is needful. I mean, the Bible says we should get wisdom. So this is where wisdom, knowledge, understanding will help every one of us. We need to keep that social distancing to break the chain of the spread of this virus. So whatever is instruction in our land and wherever we are occupying, wherever part of the world or wherever part of the earth we're staying, please let us comply, please let us listen. Okay, so until I see us in another video, please stay safe, comply to all the health tips given to us, plus social distancing. So God will help us and God will, protect us. No harm will befall us and our loved ones. An angel of God will protect us and will cover us. He will shield us. He will never allow us to fall, or he will never allow us to perish. So fear not and be of good cheer. God is in control. Thank you. Bye-bye.